Thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is the House Rules Manual, and at the start of Congress, the House approves the House rules. Every Republican member on this committee voted yes to it. On page 640, Rule 11, Clause 4B, it states that this committee, quote, may not be used for any partisan political campaign purpose, end quote. This hearing is in violation of the House rules that we all voted on, including the chair, including all the Republicans on the other side of the aisle. And all we've done in this hearing and over these hearings over this entire year is promote the Trump campaign. And so my question for the chairman or for any Republican is, how can we allow this hearing to continue when we are in direct violation of the House rules?
It's about the Biden-Harris policy.
That's what you say. You keep saying it's not about the campaign. It's not about the campaign. But Ms. Gunasekaran, during her brief, in their opening, said, quote, we are less than 2 months away from the election. Democrats are working overtime to rewrite the truth of the Biden-Harris admin. One of my colleagues put up a report card to make the point that Vice President Harris should not be elected. Another one of my colleagues literally asked the witness, quote, why should Harris get the job, end quote. And you expect us to believe that this hearing isn't about the campaign. This committee functions as an extension of the Trump campaign. First, we went after President Biden with a nonsense impeachment hearing. Then we went after his son. Now we're going after the vice president because she's the nominee. And my question is, Mr. Chairman, are we going after Tim Walz next week? Because I hear from my staff that you're planning a hearing on Governor Tim Walz, even though he's been governor for 5 years and his name hasn't been uttered in this room or in this committee until something happened recently. Oh, yes, he became the vice presidential nominee. Is he next?
His son's going to jail.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm talking about Governor Tim Walz.
Oh, okay.
Are we doing a hearing on him next week?
I'll have to check the
You'll
calendar,
have to check.
but I'll
Okay,
let you
well,
know.
we'll see what happens next week. Someone whose name has not been uttered in this committee, but now that he's the Democratic vice presidential nominee, we're going to do a hearing on him. A complete blatant use of official resources for a political campaign is what this committee has been. And anyone who's taking part in that should be ashamed of themselves. Ms. Perryman, we worked together in 2023 when I hosted an ad hoc hearing to spotlight different issues in the state of Florida. Mr. Chair, I ask unanimous consent to enter into the record the ad hoc hearing memo and testimony.
Without objection, so ordered, and we're not doing a hearing on Walz. I just got confirmation.
Oh, okay, okay. For those concerned about Project 2025, people should know that Project 2025 is Florida 2024. Ms. Perryman, there are policies and lawsuits that have been popping up all over my state and across the South. Book bans, abortion bans, voter suppression that are now in the Project 2025 plan for the entire country. The architects of this plan want us to believe that this is some sort of organic grassroots movement, but you and I know that this is really a small group of people. What is so dangerous about this trend for people in every state across America?
Well, Project 2025 would take away rights of the American people and beneficial programs that we have come to rely on in communities across the country. And so I think that, you know, it really presents a profound threat to individual Americans. We've heard a lot about today about the plight of the middle class and the plight of workers in this country, and we know that it is hard for people to make ends meet. But Project 2025 would seek to undermine things that the Biden-Harris administration have done, for instance, to qualify millions of American workers for overtime pay, and it would reduce a lot of programs that working families rely on.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 people in the state of Florida are responsible for about 50% of the book bans across the entire state. That doesn't sound like an organic grassroots movement to me. Ms. Perryman, of the policies these extremists are testing in Florida, which ones do you see these same groups laying the groundwork for at the national level, and how are they doing this?
Well, certainly attacks on the freedom to read, attacks on public education, attacks on just very basic ideas and history we see in Florida. We've also seen, of course, the governor of Florida seek to establish a state military and to try to deploy those individuals for his purposes, and we see a variety of those themes in Project 2025.
And we see it happening right now with Amendment 4.
Absolutely.
I don't have much time left, but I just want to say Trump is trying to make it out like he doesn't know anything about Project 2025, but I do not buy it for 1 second. Not when this committee that functions as an arm of the Trump campaign invites Project 2025 authors to be their credible witnesses to attack the Biden-Harris administration. I yield back.